Good evening, everybody.
I thought you had no.
Well, I did. I was waiting for him to give him those signals.
I thought you were a little behind. Maybe you were busy, so I thought I was going to bring us in.
The signal.
Good evening, everybody. Go ahead.
Good evening, everybody. Welcome to Sailor Nation Sports. We are with you from Muskegon High School, the Aquatic Center here at Muskegon High School, and this is Sailor Nation Sports, bringing you the best of high school sports on the worldwide leader of your high school sports entertainment. It's Sailor Nation Sports, buddy.
It is, and it's again, this is only our second time being here at the Muskegon pool. And it's kind of a proud moment. We lost a lot with COVID and everything else, but we lost more than that after COVID. But we got him back with us tonight to help us with this broadcast. Mr. Mick Holman, the former coach of the, is it the Greater Muskegon Boys Swim? Is that what it is?
Greater Muskegon Co-op, yep.
Co-op, the
Motor Co-op, yep.
And now the current coach of Aquinas College.
Assistant coach at Aquinas, yep.
Perfect. Mick, thanks for joiing us here tonight.
Not a problem. Thanks for having me.
You didn't get too far away from this place, did you?
No, I'm kind of feeling funny sitting in the stands.
Oh, I bet you are. I bet you are.
I left my house and thought I got 2 blocks, and I thought, wait a minute, where's my towel? and then I get here to the pool deck, and nothing's changed. Once Coach Holman shows up, they're always asking you, can you fix this for us? How do we do this?
Oh, yeah.
So I got the lineup all set. If somebody's missing out of the lineup tonight, it's
not on you.
It's not on me tonight.
It's not. Speaking about you doing this and being up here and sitting down there, I can remember you coaching my daughter from Owner Shores,
yep.
Ariana, and then the towel and do you miss being here at all?
I do. I finished my last.
When was your last year? Last year?
No, actually, it was this fall.
Okay.
I finished in November.
All right, so you did the girls.
Did the girls for my 33rd year, and then after the state meet, we started driving to Grand Rapids to Aquinas, and during that whole time, like if we didn't have a meet for girls, I was at Aquinas for practice or a swim meet. So
you had some long days, brother.
Yeah, very long days. Yeah.
How long did you do this for then?
Total. I did high school coaching for 33 years. I started at Muskegon back in '89. I was actually in college at Grand Valley when I was coaching my first couple of years. So
you're right, because I started coaching the Little Reds in '85, and then you were So you and I go back a long ways, brother, a very, very long ways. But we're glad to have you. Sailor Nation Sports is a nice gig, and Joe and I, Colin and Kim, and by the way, Kim and the best in the business way over here to our right, way up there,
looking
buddy.
Over at us.
Good to see you looking at us right over there.
And we got a little special thing going on here tonight. We've got Cohen running the board.
Yes, we do.
We always look for the opportunities to be able to bring the students in. Cohen has been working cameras throughout the season. He's been on the broadcast a couple of different times. Tonight, he's running your broadcast, Cohen. Nice job so far. You brought us in.
And that's where Cohen's going to start recruiting some kids for next year so he can transition from camera to board and then get somebody else on the camera. But
hey, do I get one of those Madden Telestrator things?
We're working on that.
Yes, we're working. Yeah, that's what Steve DeLong wanted, one of these. But Joe got this for us right now, and it's just been a kind. In fact, somebody from the hockey program donated this to us. Said, hey, what do you want? What do you need? We need this. Scratched out a check, took care of it, and we're good to go. But so the co-op here is, you've been here, you've done that, but are we going to have a national anthem soon?
I believe we are, yep. Yep, we'll be having that here in just a few minutes. We're going to take a quick break. We'll leave it rolling for you here, and we'll take a break and let them get ready to do the national anthem.
Civilian gentlemen, please remove your hats. All veterans, we encourage you to render the appropriate salute, and everyone able, please stand at attention, placing your hand over your heart as we proudly play our national anthem.
again, another nice rendition of the national anthem, and that means that we're about ready to get underway.
So we have Mick Holman here, and I know where I was going with this, Joe.
Yeah.
You know, you and I are Sailor Nation Sports. We just talked. But in order for Sailor Nation Sports to be really, really good, we got to have people like Mick.
Like Mick Holman. You're absolutely right.
That absolutely know what they're talking about.
And no one better in the business to bring in with us
absolutely.
today than Mick Holman. So.
You're kind of like the Tony Romo of swimming right now to help us out in this. All right, so fill us in. What are we going to see tonight?
All right, right now you've got Zeeland High School. They're usually one of the big dogs in Division 1.
Oh, really? Okay.
They've had some very great success over the past decades, I should say.
Oh, wow.
And they are in our conference, the OK Rainbow Tier 1.
Okay.
I'm assuming by their lineup tonight that they're going to swim around a little bit. Usually they're big dogs. They'll do their normal events, but tonight I think some of the big dogs are going to do some events that they normally don't do.
And why is that? Just to give another kid a chance at a different event?
Give some other kids some chances to score some points.
Yep, okay, yep.
Some coaches
Which makes sense.
Some coaches say they got to get so many points for the varsity ladder.
Right. Yep. I got you.
If some of the underclassmen can step up and score some points tonight for them, they'll.
Question for you. You know, you got Zeeland East that's pretty good, but you got Holland that's always good, and national champion. What makes that part of the state right there so competitive in swimming?
Right now, it's based on their feeder programs. They have some great age group programs in Zeeland and Holland that just feed into the high school.
Well, we were just covering wrestling, and Lowell, 12-time state champion in a row. What makes them good? It's the feeder programs.
Yeah.
It's like Shores Wrestling. We got to get a better feeder program, so the wrestling program becomes much more. So what do we got going here right now?
So right now we got the 200 medley relay. The first leg is backstroke, so each swimmer is going to do 2 lengths of backstroke. Next up will be the breaststrokers, and then butterfly, and then freestyle.
Okay.
And Zeeland looks like they're going to go out and try to get some state cuts on relay times.
Oh, yeah.
So that's a pretty good lead off for the 25.
Oh, okay, yeah. I see the running clock right here there. Mick, the teams that comprise our co-op, the schools, what are they again?
Mona Shores is the host school.
Oh, okay.
Mona Shores, Reese Puffer, Muskegon Catholic Central, North Muskegon, West Michigan Christian, and now Kelvin Christian.
So you got 6 schools in
Kelvin Christian.
Yeah, right. Okay.
And that's on the guy's side. The girl's side, they don't have Kelvin Christian in there yet.
Okay.
But they're looking to put him in there hopefully soon.
Has the co-op composition been a successful composition?
Yes.
For the kids, the community, and the districts?
Yes. It's been a great success. You can ask any of the kids. They are actually, their best friends are on the team right here. So after the pool, after practice, it's not going back to their school, and it's all about, I'm from East Buffer, you're from Mona Shores. We're just going to hang out with those. No, these guys and girls, they always hang out with each other together. They support each other in their other activities.
Yeah, that's good.
And the parents are very supportive, very helpful, which is what you need to be successful in a program.
Yeah. There's not a lot of high schools that have pools in them, none. It's got to be pricey to maintain a pool, I would think.
Well, so the OK Rainbow Tier 1 here, every school in that tier except for Mona Shores has their own pool.
Really?
Holland Christian and Holland, they use the aquatic center in Holland.
Right, yeah.
But they also pay into that, feed into that.
Sure.
So, Mick, I remember the last time we were here. I don't recall. Is there I see a representative from the MHSA here. Is that a referee?
Yes. Yep.
Are they always here at a meet?
Yes.
Okay.
Each conference has an official, depending on the pool. So Muskegon is a 6-lane pool, so it's a smaller pool. So they only assign one official here. If this was at Zeeland, which is 10 lanes, then they'll have 2 officials. State meet, we always have 4. Conference meet, we always have 4.
Well, the only reason I asked is we have the camera set up down there, and she was asking me what I was doing, and I said, well, we're setting up the camera for the lane finishes and stuff like that. And I didn't remember anybody ever asking me before, and I certainly didn't remember somebody standing in front of my camera the entire time that we were here. So
she was probably afraid you're going to get her wrong side or something. She's very nice and very easygoing.
Sure. No, I just.
And the funny thing is that. The joke is when you leave the pool deck, 9 times out of 10, you go back to the pool deck wearing the white shirt and the blue pants.
There you go.
And it's always nice because you get, most officials won't admit this, but payback.
Yeah.
We had one official, and he's from south of the bridge, as we say. He would always come in and guaranteed. One of my events, one of my relays always got disqualified.
Why?
I don't know.
Because
I don't know. It just seemed like every meet he officiated, there was one DQ. And, we can't use video replay, but I'd go back and look at it and say, okay, that was definitely not a DQ. I just think he hated our pool at the time it was
I think it's just the love that he had for you, Mick, in the area right here is what it was.
I think if I go back in the record books, I think I beat him 6 times 6 years in a row.
Well, I would have a little bit of a disdain for you as well. So now we're moving on to event 2, correct? The boys 200-yard freestyle.
So this is going to be the 200 freestyle, and right now this is a new rule that's gone into effect in the last 5 years that after the Medley Relay, the conferences have agreed to do a 5-minute break in between the relay and the next event because teams usually have their top swimmer swimming that Medley Relay, but then they also have maybe one of their top swimmers coming off that relay swimming the 200 free or the 200 IM. So this gives them a little chance to warm down, cool down, and then get ready for the next event. So the next event is going to be 8 lengths of the pool freestyle.
So mentioning that, where you have somebody that's in multiple events like that, how that's got to wear down on them once you get into that second event. That's got to play a part in that success, correct?
It does, but if they've trained, trained properly, most of the time it doesn't affect the stronger swimmers. Some of your weaker swimmers, they'll definitely feel it, and they'll be hurting. But your stronger swimmers, it won't take much to recover. And then sometimes it's just a matter of, okay, the team needs points in this event, so we got to get you to go. And the coach has confidence in putting that kid in there and swimming. I mean, I know one of our swimmers here on Motor Shores team, Luke Peterson, he used to always complain that I always put him in back-to-back-to-back events. So he was one of my distance swimmers. I had him do the 500, 200 free, and then 100 breast. And he had the 100 back to recover for the last event. And then if I really liked him that day or that week, I'd always put him in the 400 free relay at the end. And he's such a good-hearted kid that he didn't complain about it.
It's swimming's a long sport. An event right here. As if we need to add more time to it by giving them a 5-minute break.
5-minute breaks, right? Yeah.
Right. Is there other 5-minute breaks too?
After this, it's just going to be diving as we.
Diving is set up and get this stuff. All right. So what do we got here, brother?
This is going to be the 200 free. This is 8 lengths of the pool freestyle.
Okay.
Now, by freestyle, what does that mean for everybody out there watching?
Okay, freestyle is the arms going this way. And there is another rule. So freestyle can be any stroke. So if one of these guys wanted to do 8 lengths of butterfly, he could do 8 lengths of butterfly, or he could do 8 lengths of breaststroke, but he's got to make sure he does all 8 lengths the same stroke.
Which the more common stroke would be the typical.
Right. Freestyle is the fastest stroke. So.
Well, it's the fastest stroke, right, yeah. Have you ever seen in this event that we're watching somebody do anything other than freestyle?
Yeah.
You have?
Yes.
And why would they choose to do that? I mean, it's.
Well, near the end of the season, this is about 6 years ago, one of our competitors one of the girls was getting recruited by a college, and she didn't have a 200 butterfly time.
Oh.
And so she asked her coach if she could swim the 200 butterfly during the 200 free. And the funny thing is, she beat everybody in the
Seriously?
She was an all-state swimmer in the butterfly, 200 IM.
And she got the scholarship.
And she got the scholarship.
Well, good for her. Yeah. Boy, when you were saying that Zeeland brings some top-notch kids, you watched this event, you watched the relay in the beginning, and it's yeah. Do both Zeeland West and Zeeland East have pools, or does just one of them?
It's just one. It's just one beautiful aquatic center over there.
And where? Is it at East?
It's at Zeeland West.
Okay, that's where I saw it. It's gorgeous.
Yeah.
It's flat out gorgeous.
You know, I don't think there's a weekend that goes by that there's not a high school swim meet or an age group swim meet going on there.
Oh, I agree. If you ever get a chance to go to, well, next time we go to Zeeland West for football, we'll be going there this fall.
Yep.
We got to go look at it. Is
their pool?
Their pool is just gorgeous. I mean, they got underwater cameras. They got lights where you can go underneath the pool and look through it at what's going on. Oh, it's sweet. It's absolutely sweet.
They have a state-of-the-art scoreboard that the guys love it, because when it was conference meet, they would have football games up on the scoreboard, or basketball games or hockey games. I can't, whatever it was, they had it up there on. So they loved it. Actually, I think it was the Super Bowl. They had Super Bowl highlights going on there one time.
Yeah, it's just phenomenal, the money that they pumped in there. And both schools are so close to each other that they can share it, which,
right,
like the football stadium. All right.
So in that event,
all right.
I'm trying to see here. Quinn McKenna from Mona Shores, he just got a PR in his 200 free there. He dropped 3 seconds off his time.
Oh, good for him.
Nice. Once again, I'd like to thank everybody for watching us here at Sailor Nation Sports Network. Coming to you live from the John Vandervelde Nexus Realty broadcast booth that we have set up here at the Muskegon Pool. And we are watching the Greater Muskegon Boys Co-op swim team in their meet against Zeeland East.
The Chicks of Zeeland East invading Muskegon County.
So
is this another heat of it?
No, this next event is going to be the 200 IM. So they're going to do a 50 butterfly, 50 backstroke, 50 breaststroke, 50 free.
Okay. So this is the event where it's 4 strokes.
Yep, all four of the competitive strokes are going to be.
Yeah, all 4 of the competitive strokes. And, boy, this is Mick, are most of your swimmers this well-rounded where they can do all 4, or do some just specialize in the butterfly or the backstroke? Or as a coach, do you like a kid to be real diversified?
I like them to be diversified. I know that there's kids out there that only swim certain strokes, and that's great, and that does help at the college level in certain events. But if we're in
the overall picture of things, though.
Yeah. And then when it comes to training, then we can, split them off. Like we have the distance kids do the distance practices. The sprinters are doing sprint work. Middle distance does a combination of sprint and distance.
Right. So let's talk about this, because we got a little bit of time here. Go through an average high school practice that you ran. Well, you did it here for 33 years, for heaven's sakes. I mean, give Joe and I and the people on Sailor Nation Sport, what does a high school practice look like in swimming?
So I'll give you our version, and then I'll give you a Zeeland version.
Okay.
So our version was, and this is only because of what we were offered and what facilities that were available to us. So Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, 5:30 to 6:30 morning, we were over at Muskegon Catholic Central doing weights or dry land activities.
Oh, okay.
And then after school, Monday through Friday, we were here at the pool from 3:15 till 5:45, working out. And we tried to get in anywhere from 4,000 to 5,000 yards of practice.
Okay.
And depending on the day, we would either do something hard or something easy, depending on if it was stroke technique or if we're getting set up for a big competition.
Right.
And then on Saturdays was optional to come in and do a light workout, work on starts, turns, or most of the time we were at invitationals for us. Now Zeeland, they will go similar to what we did Monday, Wednesday, Friday, weights, and then practice afterwards. And then they'll go Tuesday, Thursday, Saturday, double practices in the pool.
Wow. Okay.
It looks like Isaac DeVries for Zeeland just got a PR as well.
Yes.
Dropped a second off.
And look at Cohen on top of stuff right here with stats
We liked
and
it,
running the board.
That's why we got him on.
I
this
guess.
team.
Well, that's you, Joe. I mean, that's advanced recruiting right there. You think Nick Saban does it?
Well,
We're recruiting in middle school just like the big-time college football player.
I did a lot of work in recruiting Cohen when he was an 8th grader. I spent a lot of time talking with his mom. Talking with Cohen. We did a Zoom meeting. This probably sounds familiar, doesn't it?
Yeah, kind of like Coach Holman right over here from Aquinas College.
Talk to him and let him know how awesome Sailor Nation Sports Network was and what he would be doing and, all that kind of stuff. So, yeah.
So Isaac is on my list to talk to after the meet. He's one of the kids. He's a junior. And
well, you know what? Maybe Sailor Nation Sports can help you here on this. We get the guy, do a little remote down there on the World Wide Web. I mean, Mick, we're here to help you, brother.
Well, I appreciate it.
Anything we can do
you
from
can make
Sailor
my job
Nation
a little
Do
easier,
an
I'll take
interview
it.
of a future Aquinas champion.
Yeah, thank you. Right. God, the official sports network of Aquinas
I
Swimming.
might have to come back and get the videotapes on this just to make sure that I'm making the right choice of.
Well, it'll be on YouTube, so you can go in and watch it anytime you want.
There we go.
There you go, brother. Okay, now why is he swimming by himself?
This is heat 2.
This is the 50 free, so he's going down and back. Well, there's 3 heats, and then unfortunately,
gotcha.
the other kid that was going to be swimming with him scratched. So
he still has to swim.
Yeah.
Okay, it's not like a default. Okay, I got you.
No, so he's going for his
time.
For his time, yeah.
Right.
And it looks like if he
Cohen, did he get a PR
off
there, brother?
I'm not sure. I lost the view on it.
30.56.
His best time was a 30 flat, and he kind of shut it down at the flag, so he kind of cruised in there.
Gotcha.
So one of my sayings was, from the flags to the wall, we call that the red zone.
Oh, okay.
And we don't want you to breathe when you're doing freestyle. We don't want you to breathe.
Just go.
Yeah, every time you take a breath, you slow your momentum down.
Okay.
So,
is it red zone at either end?
Yes.
Okay. Okay, it's pretty much an all Zeeland heat right here. What's up? What's up with this here?
So each team, can put in as many swimmers as they want, but the final heat is the scoring heat. So these guys are all exhibition.
Oh, exhibition right now. I was going to say, we don't have anybody in this? Okay, that's good to hear. Joe, I was a little worried here.
That's interesting. The final heat is the only scoring heat, correct?
Yes.
So it's not a matter of racing for times and then taking the top 6 or anything like that from all 3
So now
heats.
if this was a conference meet, then they would take the top 16 out of all the heats.
Okay. Because I was going to say, what if this young man in lane 3's time is better than the finals in lane 2?
That would work if this
I got you.
championship meet. Yeah.
Okay.
So in that last heat, it looks like there
were 2
guys,
PRs.
Yeah, 2 PRs in that one.
Yeah.
Well, I want to welcome everyone that's just joining in from the worldwide leader in high school sports entertainment. This is Sailor Nation Sports. Cohen, Joe, Kimmin, our dear friend Mick Holman. I'm Nick Davos here welcoming you to the Aquatic Center here at Muskegon High School. Boy, this building's been around.
Now, this is going to be a race here because all these guys are low 23s and 22.
You got a leader there up in lane.
So the kid who flipped first was at the wall in 9 seconds.
Yeah, okay. Looks like he's got the lead. Now, I'm going to see if he doesn't breathe. No, you're right.
Van Dusen, if he doesn't breathe at the end, he just got touched out.
So that would be a 3rd place finish for our sailor, is that
correct?
And down in lane 1, he just kind of like glided into it instead of like finishing his stroke like you said.
So according to this, that's a PR for Sam.
Wow, those were some fast times there.
Fisher Seitzma, who was in lane 3 there, has a PR of 17 seconds there on that one.
And I think, let's see.
Wow, that's amazing. But
Yeah.
down a little off if it's 17 seconds.
Yeah.
You know, and it's kind of funny. Everybody says that Muskegon's pool is a little slow, but I've seen a lot of state cuts made here, so it's
Okay, so we're talking about water here. Okay,
Right.
we're talking about water.
It's
we're
not like long
talking
grass
like
or
yeah,
turf
right,
or
right. It's
something
not like,
like that.
turf, or it's not like snow on a rainy football
Is it
field.
different if it's well water versus city water? Does it slow it down with the minerals? Is that
yeah,
what
so
we're
tell me
talking
how
about?
a water can.
well, it's not a matter of the water. Okay,
Okay.
one is the temperature. You don't want it too hot, but you don't want it too cold. Okay, and then it's kind of like the design of the pool. As you're in the
It's
middle,
a rectangle to me. I know a pool's a rectangle. And it looks like we got
the kidney-shaped pools are the fastest.
yeah, right. Is that what they are?
And my dog would tell you that her little pink kiddie pool is faster than all of them combined.
Okay, yeah, no.
So
okay.
the pool here, when you're swimming in the middle lanes, you want the water to disperse out away from you. Okay?
Correct.
So your kid in lane 1 and lane 6, unless they're
are
out.
your slow lanes because the
right.
water bounces back and it's
Right.
resistance.
So if
I
the
got that
water
from
isn't
my-
bouncing back, it's going to be a lot faster.
Gotcha.
And you're going to be faster going
But-
through the water there.
Every pool has that, though.
Right.
I'm going to make this hard on you.
I know,
I don't
know.
understand this, but go ahead.
It's and then the depth of the pool. The deeper the pool is, the faster it's going to be because you don't have that water bouncing back
Bouncing
off
up
the bottom.
faster. Gotcha.
So now, back in the day, as we pan down to where the kids are warming down over there,
Yeah.
the bulkhead was pushed back this way. When I first started coaching, we had the starting blocks down at
Right.
the other end.
I remember when I was coaching here, we'd start down at that end.
Right. So they were diving it into 3 feet of water, 3 feet
Right.
for it, whatever it is down there, and the times were okay, but that water is going down and bouncing right back off, and kind of slowing you down a little
Well,
bit.
look at us learning it actually
I know that,
is
looking
a
at-
difference. It's just, I like that. You know, could we bring you on for a permanent broadcaster here? For,
Sure.
Yes, we're going to.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Not a
it's-
problem.
Co-op,
So-
swimming.
When did they switch from? Because when I was here, in the 80s and the 90s, yeah, we started down there. Who decided? Okay, we got to. I mean, was there research? Obviously, there's research that said. we
So,
got-
this is what I was told, that after a couple of incidences with kids
hitting the bottom.
hitting the bottom, they had to change it.
No, good move.
I remember one incident, and I don't remember where the school was, but the kid ran out of the locker room, jumped off the block, and smacked on the bottom. And then Cordy, he swore that the coach never told him he couldn't do that. So with those kind of
Yeah.
things happening, they finally had to make a change. Health department got called in, and so at one point, Muskegon's pool was grandfathered in. They had to measure from the top of the ceiling to the bottom of the pool to determine the full depth. And then after a while, then they said, nope, we got to move it back.
Is this considered an old pool
Yes.
in standards of other high schools or pools you go to?
Yes.
It's probably ancient. Probably forgot.
Anything with 6 lanes is considered old nowadays. But
What are they? 8 now?
they're 8 to 10.
8 to 10. Okay.
Okay, and we at Aquinas, we practice at East Grand Rapids, and East Grand Rapids has 14 lanes.
Wow.
East Grand Rapids High School.
East Grand Rapids High School. yeah.
Seriously, they have
Yeah,
14 lanes.
Yep. So
That's one wide
we
pool.
share the pool also with them and the
Yeah.
public at times. But the old girl has done great things for us here.
Oh my goodness! Yeah.
For years, it was the lights kept giving us hassle, and I think we were spending more money on lights than we did on
Keeping the pool running.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So this is the only dive event, correct?
Correct.
It's the,
this is the 1 meter
1
dive.
meter dive.
And
Two divers.
Correct.
Both from
and
Z.
each diver will do 6 dives, and then there's always a dive, required dive of the week. So tonight it's a back dive. And he just did a back dive, half twist.
So we mentioned this the last time that we were here, and I don't recall the girl that joined us in the booth the last time. Do you remember?
Oh
Nick,
yeah.
when
I
we
don't.
were here?
I thought about her tonight too.
Kim Arnold.
I don't remember it.
I don't
I don't
remember.
even know if I'd be able to remember if you said it. But anyway, we asked about this, and we'll ask again just in case the viewers want to know. What do judges look like, or look for, rather, in this dive for scoring?
Okay, they look for consistency. They look for so as he entered, his feet were split apart a little bit or crisscross.
Right, and he came in at an angle.
And you like to get your toes nice and straight. A great dive is when you go in and there's no splash. No splash. The bigger the splash, the lower the score.
Okay.
And then, of course, it's who can get the closest to the board will get some of the higher dives.
Really?
If you're out past the backstroke flagpole here, it's pretty much going to be a 2 or a 3 dive.
Colin, that's why we're not divers right here, because you got to get really close to the board, and that stuff's not going to happen.
Yeah, I'd
probably
hit
hit
missing
the thing.
enough hair on the top of my head.
Yeah, no,
probably.
right. That's what Colin and I were saying too. I'm going way out there.
Where the Zealand dive coach is sitting right now, through pretty much my whole career, if I had to judge, I always got stuck right there. And when the divers are doing inward dives, which means they go up and they go in towards the board.
Okay, so that's away from the board.
That's the back.
So their face is toward the board.
Right. So when they go in there, I'd always get the heebie-jeebies.
Yeah. What was your area of specialty as a coach, Mick? Or were you all around as the
I'm not
guy?
sure what my specialty is, but I always had a lot of successful butterflyers and breaststrokers. One of my young ladies last year or 2 years ago went to state, was a sprinter, 50 freer, and then she was a butterflyer. And then she also could do the backstroke, so she was all around. But
you had a good diver years ago from Shores.
yes,
What was his name?
that was Tommy Cotner.
Tommy Cotner.
Oh, yes.
And-
Tommy went on to do some good
Tommy's
things.
at
there.
UMass, and he's
Yep.
doing phenomenal over
His
there.
brother Eric is played for me this year.
Well, we try to get the rest of the boys to get out here to do diving, but one's in hockey, and the other one is
And playing basketball right now.
playing basketball. Yeah.
Yep, he played
So-
football. Good.
But,
yes, I remember Tommy. Well, we remember Tommy.
Yep,
God,
certainly.
Tommy was great. And he's still at UMass?
Yes, he's still at UMass, and he's doing fantastic.
Good for
down
him.
there.
I believe Tommy graduated in Noah's class.
Oh,
My son's
okay.
class, yep. So
He is dominating the 3-meter board, which is the higher board, and that seems to be a specialty.
Good for him.
I would joke that when I saw him dive on the 3-meter for the first time on one of the YouTube videos, I said, "That's pretty good." He goes, "Yeah, I needed that extra height to get my full."
Do you keep in contact with him?
Through Instagram and
Yep.
Facebook.
Yep.
It's-
Good for
yeah.
you. Well, that's what good coaches do.
now, UMass, is that a well-known diving school?
Not particularly, but it's a great program, and he got I believe he got a great academic scholarship
Great.
to go there. It's a great program.
Well, it's a
and,
great all-around academic program for
Right.
sure. Yep.
And
Did he get a scholarship for swimming then too?
I'm not sure if I know it was a lot of academics, and I know that the diving coach had talked to him. Since then, I think he's gotten athletic scholarship money.
Good.
Most of your big-time schools, if you're not one of the national ranked divers, swimmers, you're going to get a try. You're going to preferred walk-on, as they call
Yeah.
it, and then they'll give you scholarship money after your first year or so. Nice thing about Aquinas is we offer the academics first. So if you have a 3.95 and above, you're guaranteed $24,000 right there.
What does it cost a year to go to Aquinas?
I want to say it's close to 40.
It's a little. It's quite a bit.
It's a nice liberal arts college.
Yes, it is. Is it private?
Yes.
Oh, that's why it's 40.
Mick, tell us about the degree of difficulty. They mention it on each one of these dives, and how does that play into the scoring?
So whatever the 3 judges put up, they times that by the DD and the difficulty of the dive. So
Okay, so now that was an inward dive, right?
That was-
Because
that
his
was
face.
inward,
Okay,
yeah.
and now that's a higher degree of difficulty.
right. So
Okay.
if he did an inward somersault, and they scored it a 5, Now, or they scored a 5.5. Now, I would have scored it a 5, 4.5 because, as I saw it, he was facing us as he was going in. So as he going in, he twisted. So to me, that's a little deduction right there.
I gotcha.
So what's the high score that a judge can give?
10.
10. Okay.
And I've seen, the highest I've seen has been an 8, 8.5.
Would that have been Tommy Cutner?
No, that was actually at the state meet. And so now that dive right there, I would have scored that about a 6.5. Now he just needs to come in a little bit more closer to the bore. So they saw something I didn't see.
Yeah.
So
the lady in the white is from the state of Michigan. I mean, she's the official.
she's official, yeah. She's out of Zealand.
Okay, and then
In the middle is
one of our coaches, and then that Zealand coach, right?
And then the Zealand, yep.
I got you. Okay.
And Matt Inman is the diving coach for Zealand, and Matt and I were teammates at Grand Valley.
Did you swim at Grand Valley?
Yes.
Where'd you go to high school? Are you a Muskegon?
I'm a Mona Shores grad.
You're a Shores grad?
Class of 86, damn well proud of it.
Wow. Yes, you are. What class are you?
In the class of 93.
I see Joe's a baby, for God's
So
sake.
he's after my baby brother.
Yes. Okay. All right.
Yeah.
Cohen, what class are you?
2025.
It's only 50 years after I graduated. Let me. A half a century after I graduated.
Wow, that really
nothing
puts things in
says
perspective,
old.
doesn't it?
Yes, it.
I think I have a pair of socks as old as he is.
Oh my God! A half a century, Cohen. Good Lord.
Well, you didn't have to date yourself.
We used to call that an old-fashioned pencil dive. We just come on, hands on the side, and just go.
Well, when I was at Grand Valley, we used to have the blue and black meet, and the team would get divided into two, and we had to draw events. And I drew inward dive off the 3-meter. Okay, I'm scared of heights. So
Okay.
I'm just shaking up there.
I can imagine.
And I think my dive actually looked like a pencil dive.
Well, you probably got some default points because you were shaking so bad. It's about presentation.
And our head coach was known more for his diving coaching than he was a swim coach. And this is a family show, so I have to keep it clean.
Yes, you do. Sailing Nation Sport, nothing but the highest degree of mortality. I mean, doing the right morality. Okay, so 6 dive. What are we on? Dive number 4 here, I think.
This is the last one.
Final
Yeah.
group right here. Okay. Are you surprised we don't have any divers in it?
I am. Last year we had a freshman diver, James Spencer, and the kid was phenomenal. He was going to be our next Tommy Cotner
really?
On the boards, but
is he swimming this year at all?
No.
Oh,
interesting.
He's into trampoline, jumping and all that stuff. So I see a lot of YouTube videos of him doing trampoline.
Okay, with that being said, does the trampoline help pool diving?
It does to a point. You have to control yourself on there.
Oh, right.
If the kids are just jumping freely.
Yeah, they're not. It's not doing anything.
Some of the schools you go to.
Can you emulate what you do here to a trampoline?
Yes. Yep.
Okay.
Or you take the trampoline and try to emulate it on the board. So some schools like East Grand Rapids, they have a trampoline set up right next to the diving board, and they have a pulley system and a belt system, and they have the kids practice twist dives. Okay.
And then you just pull them.
And then they pull. Then they come over and they move the pulleys over, and they strap them in the belt on the board.
Yeah.
Do a couple times of practicing with the pulleys and the ropes.
Right.
And then they take the belt off and they say, "Okay, let's try it."
Now that's slick.
Yeah.
That is
absolutely
really slick right there.
It takes away a little bit of that fear. You get used to doing all of that kind of stuff.
Yep.
That's honestly, there's no way I could do that because
no.
my fear of I'll cannonball that thing. I'll be flat on my back or just
belly flop.
Belly flop.
Some kind of flop.
Just
no
watching
way.
some of you see some Instagram and YouTube videos. Divers are not nice to each other. They videotape it and then they go back and they edit it, and they slow it down, smack, slow down, smack, 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 smack.
Really?
Oh, yes.
They love it. They laugh. And from what I've heard through divers is if you're learning a new dive and you don't walk out with your body completely red from smacking, you haven't done it right or even given the effort. So
that's interesting.
You know, I was going to
Divers
bring
are
up some of those points that he just did, but I'm glad that he did that.
Oh.
You know, yeah, you know that.
Yeah, I don't know.
Wow, stop it. This is a brutal sport.
A lot of love here. A lot of love.
Yeah, man,
Well,
Nick, we're so glad. All right, so
like right now, this time of the season, you got a lot of heavy training going on. A lot of the teams are putting that last big yardage into their program, into their training, and then in maybe a couple of weeks or so, they're going to start cutting back for taper, rest the kids, get them ready
for state,
for the conference meet or state.
Yeah.
So if I haven't qualified, if I haven't got my state cut time yet, I'll probably taper for conference. But if I have my state cut, then I'm going to go a little bit longer and then start taper. And taper is like the greatest thing ever. Kids getting the rest, they're more happy to see you. They're more,
I bet they are.
They're more happy to be around.
Yeah.
Moms and dads don't email you as much and say, you know, what are you doing to my kid? How come he's so cranky?
What qualifies someone for state in each one of these? I mean, obviously, are we seeing some state qualifiers on this Mona Shores team or the Zeeland East team here tonight?
As of right now, there hasn't been any state cuts right now. So in the 50 free, the last event before diving, if the guys would have gone 22, I think it's 22-19 for the state cut, then they would have been going to, let's see here.
Okay, so what we're looking at here, you guys can't see it, is Mick's got is it an actual qualifying score on there?
So these are the high school state cut times. So for high school boys, for that last event, they needed to go 22:59.
No, we were 23:17. I think was the fastest.
Now, do you have to do that at least one time during the season?
One time.
Would Fisher Seitzma have qualified then with his 17 PR?
That's a misprint.
Oh, okay.
Oh, is it really?
I can guarantee you that kid has never gone 17, maybe for a 25.
That's 6 seconds. Yeah.
I
was going to say he was off today if he actually.
That's what I was thinking.
If he went 17, he would have had the state record by 2 seconds.
Wow. Okay.
The current state record is held by Peel it was originally from Spring Lake. Now he's swimming at Michigan. He went 19.4 at the state meet.
Okay, so what event? Keep that out with you there, buddy.
Yep.
So what event are we coming up to next?
So we're coming up to the 100 butterfly.
And what's the state record there?
So the state cut time, I don't know. The state cut time, so these guys have to go 54:09.
54:09 we got to look at. Okay. Oh, this will be fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
and that's just for our division. So Zeeland and Mona Shores are in Division 1.
Is that the biggest division?
Yes, and the only reason why Mona Shores is in Division 1 is because of the total co-op.
Co-op, they got to add all the numbers together. It's kind of like football.
So if it was just, I guess if it was just West Michigan Christian, North Muskegon, and Calvin Christian, then they would be in Division 3.
Yeah.
So
let's talk about the co-op. What schools make up the co-op here for Greater Muskegon?
So for Greater Muskegon, it's Mona Shores is the host team. Host school, and then you got Reese Puffer, Catholic Central, North Muskegon, Western Michigan Christian, and then Fruitport Calvary Christian on the guy side, and it's all those schools minus Calvary Christian on the girls side.
Okay. Do they have their own? The girls Calvary Christian, they have their own standalone team, or just no?
They just didn't have anybody that was interested. They're a big basketball school over there, so.
Yeah. Sailor Nation Sports.
Yeah. Kind of like, Muskegon's known for their basketball and their football. Calvary's known for their basketball, so they got the girls in the gym all season long.
Gotcha.
And the nice thing about swimming is we have one of the best rounded student athletes. Just not to brag or anything, but the last 3 years, my team has, the girls side, we've been number one in the state with the highest GPA, team GPA. We had a 3.95 one year, and then 3.97.
Very nice.
Matt
So
Kozak's
all
real
academic.
big into that, putting academic all-state as well. Who pays then? If it's a co-op, how do the coaches get paid? Does each
Motor
co-op
Shores-
school pony in
Yeah.
money?
I'm not sure how it all funnels in, but I know that there's team fees that we have, and then it gets dispersed, and then I know Motor Shores pays through our coaching group.
Who pays Muskegon then to use the pool?
Motor Shores.
Motor Shores
Yeah,
does?
they just write a check.
Okay.
So they're going to do 4 lengths of butterfly here.
4 length of the butterfly right
Yeah.
now? All right, we're going to check to see for a state record and PR and all that good stuff. PR stands for personal record?
Zealand's swimmer went into the wall in 11 seconds off the blocks, and that was...
Is that Isaac DeVries?
Yes. And Isaac has to drop 3 seconds to get his cut if he does
Yeah.
that. So he went out in the 26.
Well, it looks like our clock needs a little bit of work here. Some of the...
Yeah. I remember when Coca-Cola donated that to us
Oh, really?
back in the day when we all had the Coca-Cola bottles out
Oh,
there.
yeah. I remember back
all
in
the
the
vending
day.
machines.
All right, we're coming up to the finish
Oh, he
here.
glided
oh,
in.
he glided in again. It got a 57-54.
So that 57, that's decent time for him.
Well,
I'm sure he's pretty tired.
There's 3 PRs. Well, yeah, isn't that 2 PRs at least?
That's nice to see Seth get a PR on that, because I'll have to tell him after the meet to make sure he gets his head down next time.
Well, ever since you said, keep your head down in the water, don't glide, don't breathe, a lot of kids just kind of coast into that end right there, and you're losing critical time.
Right. Now, if you saw this in maybe 3 weeks, it'd be a whole different story.
Oh, really?
Yeah, you're not going to see those little mistakes being made.
Sure. Yeah. Okay, with that said then, do you guys, or is there a coach that films all of your swim meets to see how they do, so you can coach and say, oh, I didn't do that, and, the camera doesn't lie?
It depends. Nowadays, moms and dads are doing a lot of videotaping for their kids.
So you just ask mom and dad for them?
Right.
Yep, I got you. That makes
And then
sense.
When you're coaching, you always ask the kids, so how did you feel? What did you feel different? We also ask at the beginning of the year, what goals do you want to set for yourself? Where do you want to go? What's an early goal time? What's at the end of the season, where do you want to be at? And then now with college, we're telling the kids, okay, so how do you want to swim this race? What splits do you want to have at the beginning of your race? What splits do you want to have at the end? So they'll tell us, and then, okay, in practice, you got to be going these splits. So
Is Aquinas D3, D2? What are you guys?
we're NAIA.
Oh, you're NAIA?
Yep.
Okay.
Which is very nice because, as I said before, I'm learning a lot with the college things. We get to talk to just about everybody. I don't have to wait until they turn a junior or a sophomore, finish their sophomore year. I can talk to them.
Do you want to move up the ladder eventually in college ranks? Do you want to move up to?
Say that again.
Do you want to move up in the college ranks eventually too? I mean, how high up the ladder do you want to go in coaching?
If I had the opportunity to go to head coaching, that would be something I have to think about. Right now, I'm really enjoying getting to learn the college
Sure.
field a little bit more, and I love to bring my experience to the pool deck. Christy Kinsler, Coach Kinsler, young, very energetic. We feed off each other. There are some days where we always say bad cop, good cop. And the towel did travel to Aquinas. So
Did it?
Yes. The shoot.
Rumor has it it's going into the Muskegon Area Hall of Fame. It's
Well-
going to be the first towel inducted into the Hall of Fame, I'm told. I'm not, this is rumor going around. I'll have to talk to Terry Clark about that.
Okay.
Because I don't think we have a towel in the Hall of Fame yet, do we?
Until now.
Yeah,
Could
no,
be first,
and I'm going to push hard for that towel.
I don't think we have any swim coaches in the hall.
Well, I'll push for that, too.
I know we have a couple of swimmers in the hall, but
that looks like a PR of a point.
You know what? Sailor Nation Sports has some influence here, buddy. I'm letting you know right now.
So 49 seconds, is that a qualifier?
So 49.39 is the state cut. So he just missed it.
By 18 seconds. By 28 seconds.
Let's see. That was
Owen Stevens, I believe.
So that's a PR for Owen.
Yep.
And I believe Owen's a junior, so he's got plenty left in the tank.
Yeah.
I think there's a PR. There was a PR for Jack Walkenhorst as well.
Okay.
And Cohen, I'm impressed. You are on top of these stats, brother. I'm letting you know right now. Very impressive. You may be back next year with us. Joe and I are going to have high
I'm telling you right now, as good as he's doing with this, I wouldn't mind going down on the field with a camera doing some sideline stuff if he wants to be up running the show and doing the broadcast. I like this.
I think you'd have fun. I think you'd have fun as a sideline reporter, though, too.
Oh, I know I would.
Yeah, see, that would be your forte right there.
Well, if you can get your, big supporters to get you an underwater camera and water suit, we can put him in there, and he can be doing filming.
There we go.
I like that. Bring it up here.
Because you know how to scuba dive, right?
I do.
Yeah, see, Joe would be an anvil right there.
It's looped around that cord.
So this is the 500. This is going to be 20 lengths of the pool. This is our distance event for high school.
Just wanted it up there.
Now, you think this is bad.
It is bad. What could be worse?
In college, we swim the 1,000 and the 1,650. So the 1,000's 40.
Stop it.
Yeah. And then you got the 1,650. And then all those, the IM, the 200 IM.
Yeah.
In college, we have 200 IM and 400 IM. So we're swimming 100 of each of the strokes.
Right.
And then on the 100 butterfly, there's a 200 butterfly, and then backstroke, 200 backstroke, and 200.
Is Aquinas eventually going to get their own pool? Any rumors going around that you hear?
No, nothing right now. We're just excited that we have a great agreement with East Grand Rapids.
Yeah. How far is East Grand Rapids from the college?
1 mile.
Oh.
If that.
It's kind of a mute point, really. Yeah.
So Aquinas swim dive program, how are they? Within the mix of swim and diving programs,
We're brand new.
Oh, brand new.
We're brand new. First year. Right now we have 8 guys on the guys team and 10 girls.
How many do you want on the guy? I mean, what's a good number?
Our goal is to get 22. So right now we have for next year we're close to 14 on the girls side, and we're getting closer to 14 on the guys side. Right now we have. Like I was telling you before we got on air, guys tend to drag their feet a little bit.
Why?
Slower. We're boys. We just, we see a squirrel. Oh, squirrel. Chipmunk. Oh, hey.
Yeah,
we get distracted. Yeah. So the girls make up their decisions a lot faster than the boys, and we have a couple of guys that are they verbally committed to us, and now we just have to get them to sign. And
when's National Signing Day?
National Signing Day is tomorrow.
Well, they can sign with the NAIA. They can sign anytime.
Okay.
They can do the fancy at the schools and sign that way, or they can just come to campus and we do a little ceremony there.
Oh, that's nice.
This weekend we have a scholarship competition where we have a couple of our incoming recruits for next year that are going to sign. So that'll be nice.
So NAIA doesn't give you athletic scholarships, right? It's all academic?
Nope. We do. We start off with academics, and then we decide on the athletic side. The head coach decides that. What we do is we give more money towards the kids who are closer getting those NA national cut times versus the kids that are, under. So if you come in and you're close to getting an NA national cut time, we'll probably give you more money than, say, Joe, who's a few seconds off.
Yeah.
Well, this 500 freestyle is a lot of swimming.
Yeah.
It's 20 lengths, Joe.
Yeah.
Big 20 lengths. I'm getting tired just watching it.
I remember back in college, I hadn't gotten my national cut time for the backstroke, and my coach decided that we were going to Valparaiso for the weekend for an invitational, that I wasn't going to swim any more backstroke for that weekend, that I was going to swim all distance.
Oh.
He put me in the 500, the 1,000, the 1650, the 400 IM.
God, you must have been exhausted at the end of that.
You know, and during the 1,000 and the 1650, I couldn't think of any songs long enough to sing in my head. I think I repeated a couple of them over. And then the following week, we went to Ferris, and Ferris is one of those old pools, 6-lane.
Yeah.
You got the bleachers right on top of the bench right there. And I got the time, and I looked at him. I said, never, ever will I swim distance again.
Who was your swim coach at Shores?
Dewey Newsome.
Oh, okay.
He was one of the best. One of the best.
Where did you swim at then?
I'm sorry?
Where did you swim? Because you guys didn't have a pool at Shores. Did you
No, I swam through the Y program, so I was.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. I got recruited when I went down to Fort Lauderdale for Y Nationals, and then swam at Grand Valley.
So what's state cut for this one?
State cut for this one is
2 days, 32 hours, 15 seconds.
4 minutes, 54 seconds.
Okay.
Okay, we're not close. I like how Mick, this is why we bring him aboard, and he'll be the permanent from now on. When I went to Nationals, when I went to the Olympics, he name drops of what he did. Have you been catching that?
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Okay. I just want to make sure that Sailor Nation Sports
that's just providing legitimacy for his being here.
Well,
that's just phenomenal.
Well,
we don't have to try to provide.
No.
Provide.
And it's not like we were walking down the street. Hey, do you know anything about swimming? Yeah, I used to swim. Come on, you could be with.
I got a kiddie pool at
yeah,
home.
Right, exactly. I got a stock pool that I got at Quality Farm and Fleet that I used to swim.
I believe in lane 3, Owen Durham got a PR by 8 seconds.
Oh, wow. All right, Cohen, thank you.
Yeah, that looks correct.
And that's one of those events where you'll see a lot of drop times, is the 500, because you can drop it a lot faster. The 50 free is the hardest one to drop time in, because it's, as they say, it's a start and turn that you got to nail the start and you got to nail the turn.
So
do you practice? Go ahead, Joe.
Question as far as lane assignment, how does that work?
Okay, so lane assignments, the coaches normally put their fastest kids in the middle. Mona Shores has the even lane, so the fastest kid is going to be lane 4, their second fastest kid is going to be in lane 2, and then their third fastest is going to be in lane 6.
Okay. And is that, again, because of the distance between the sides? The faster water in the middle? And
no, they just try to put the faster kids next to the faster kids.
Gotcha.
But you did mention, though, there's less of a water splashing back on them as resistance.
So as you see on this relay, Zealand's so far out ahead that they don't have any water splashing back at them.
There's going to be nothing. They have no resistance other than themselves.
No.
Wow.
Does that wake that is created by a swimmer, does that play into or a factor with the swimming?
Yes. Like if you're going into the turn, coming off the wall, holding that streamline, you want to get underneath that wake. If you pop up, it's like hitting the wall.
Gotcha.
Mick, how much time in an average week do you spend just on starting an event? You know, guys propelling themselves off the starting block here. 10 minutes, 5 minutes every day?
It depends on what the workout is planned out. Like there'll be some days where you're doing 10 100s off the blocks.
Okay.
So 10 100s off the blocks would be you're doing 4 laps, 10 times, but you're doing it with a start. And if you're doing that, normally you'll do it like on the 5 minutes so you get some rest. So it's a good start, good sprint in between. Sometimes you do it at the end of the practice where you go down and you do a couple of starts. When you get down to tapering, it's normally you're practicing relay exchanges, the starts, just to make sure that they're clean.
All right, fill me in on what these three people here are doing at the scorers table.
All right. The young lady, that's Robin Hunt. That's one of my.
Kimmin, can you look at Kimmin? See, we don't even have to tell Kimmin.
He's on it.
I forgot that he was there.
Yeah, well, Kimmin's just the best in the business. Literally the best in the business. We don't have to hate Kim again. He heard me talking. He's there right now. Go ahead.
Okay,
Great job, Kimmin.
So, Robin is on the end. She's got the scoreboard, so she's clearing the lanes after the touchpads are
the
done.
scoreboard we're looking at?
Right.
Okay.
Okay. Her dad is next to her, and her dad is getting all the information from her system into the computers. So
Okay.
he's keeping track of all the times and the running score.
Okay.
And then the young man next to him is our announcer, and his son, Barron, is one of the senior swimmers on the shores team.
All right. Kimmin, thank you very much. Great job,
Perfect
buddy.
shot.
And that's why
Absolutely
we say you're the
perfect
best in
shot.
the business.
Now, if I would have had that John Madden
Prompter,
right,
you could have
yeah.
circled
I could have
We'll
circled
have that next year.
We're
for you,
working
okay?
it.
And then
Yeah,
explain-
and we're going to try real hard for you next year, okay, Nick? Now, if you can get us some sponsors for Sailor Nation, we could probably get
Maybe
a faster.
Aquinas College.
Maybe Aquinas College might want to. I'm just letting you know.
On that last relay, Mona Shores cut off about half a second
Oh, wow.
for their PR.
That's good
nice.
for.
This looks like kind of a fun little stroke. You know, you're just kind of chilling, laying back. You know, just
See, now this was my stroke back in the day. I was a
Back in the day.
backstroker. And I always laughed because, people complained about swimming. It's a tough sport.
Yeah.
I said, well, yeah, it's a tough sport. You get to use every muscle in your body.
Yeah.
I said, but when you're swimming backstroke, you get to breathe all the time. You don't have to worry about holding your breath and having a coach
Right,
yell at you
yeah.
for breathing in and out of the turn.
You ever swallow much water though when you're going
Oh.
backwards when it's when
Yes.
your arm goes up and then you bring water in?
Now,
The
I
worst
gotta-
part was when I was kicking underwater, doing my dolphin kicks underwater.
Uh-huh.
One time I sneezed and you get that burning
Oh.
sensation.
Oh yeah.
And you don't want to stop. I mean,
No.
you want to stop and clear your nose, but you got to go.
When I was a senior in high school, they used to run a junior triathlon, Ironman junior triathlon down in Grand Haven,
Yes.
and I was a contender in that. I actually they scored the top 35, or
Okay.
I got 35th with the 1 year that I did it. But that pool at the Y was so cold, I cramped up. I'm not a swimmer. I just I can bike and
See?
I ran. I'm like, it's swimming, right? You know, I
Right,
just jump in there. So I jump in, I cramp up immediately. I ended up having to switch over to the backstroke to finish it. I was the last one out of the pool out of that entire heat.
So-
they were waiting for me to finish, and I made up on the bike and in the run.
So,
and I ended up finishing 35 in my age group.
so
35.
thus the term slow pool.
Slope. That was a slow pool.
that was a slow pool.
It
based
was
on temperature.
cold. It was
Yeah, right,
absolutely
yeah.
freezing.
So Joe, you were going back. We did wrestling a couple weeks ago. 7.5 hours of wrestling live streaming.
Nice.
Joe mentioned that he was a wrestler for one practice.
Two
Two
practices.
practices. My bad, Joe. Got to cut it right in half. Joe now tells us he was a swimmer for one event.
It was an
look,
Ironman
Joe,
triathlon.
Oh,
Give me some
I'm sorry.
credit.
Ironman triathlon.
I was a triathlete.
Yes, you were.
Well, hey,
right.
Joe, if they
An
have,
Ironman triathlete at that.
we can do a relay triathlon. I'll do the swimming. You can do
I can bike.
okay? You can do
Yep.
bike. We
And
just got to
Nick
find
can run.
There you go.
Yeah, it's not going to happen here.
Well, I
you know
might
what?
recruit- I might
Colin and I
Colin
can
can run.
broadcast it from here.
Robin can be my runner down there.
There you go. Artificial left knee. It's not a good look here, boys.
It was a lot of fun. I did it one time. I think it was just to say that I did it. There's some friends of mine that I was on the football team with.
Okay.
And he was a real good runner in track. He ran cross country and everything else. He's like, hey, I'm going to go do this. I'm like, all right, let's go. So this was not something that I trained for. I just
No,
went
those
out
are the
and
fun
did it.
things you do.
Oh,
So when you fill out a resume, let's just say hypothetically you're going to apply for the City of New York Fire Department.
I would put my junior Ironman triathlon in there. Absolutely.
Triathlete.
35th.
30, right.
35th overall.
35th overall.
Out of how many people, though?
36.
Yeah,
Oh.
but,
No, there's a
nobody
couple hundred
asked how
people.
many. I took 35th. Well, that was good. How many people? I don't know. A couple thousand maybe. Right.
There's some details we just don't need
just-
to.
we don't need to know. Okay.
Well, if we can sponsor him, we can get the high-tech wetsuit, the high-tech bike,
Everything. Yeah.
I'm telling you.
All right, where are we next here, Coach?
Okay, we're at the 100 breaststroke. In that last event, the backstroke, the state cut time was 55.
Close.
So
on
close.
the,
Yeah,
go
3
on.
seconds.
Now the
roughly.
breaststroke.
Well, Andrew
Any PRs? in the corner?
Jiping. There was one PR for Quinn McKenna, but Andrew Jiping has a 55:03 as his PR.
Yeah. So
Boy,
he's,
look at the the
quite a
difference
bit.
right here. Just in the start, one guy was underwater significantly longer than the other guy, and just
yeah. Now that's what we call the pullout.
okay.
There's a couple of phases of the pullout, and the more distance you can get out under the water, the less you have to do on top of the water.
Less resistance under than on top.
Yep.
I got you.
You're faster underwater than you are on top of the water.
Right, I would agree. Yeah. Well, this kid right here who's got the lead, I mean, he was halfway, across the pool before he popped his little head up.
Do you have to come up after one stroke off the
Yes.
wall? Is that what it is?
Yep. So what it is he'll go into the wall like he touches with 2 hands. As he's going under the water, he's going to hold streamline. Then he's going to do what we call a pull down, and you're going to count 1,001, 1,002, and then you take a kick and a stroke to pop yourself back up.
When you were coaching here at Muskegon, were you ever in the water coaching your kids, or is most of your coaching out of the water?
When I first started out, I was in the water quite a bit.
Okay.
With time constraints, it was more on top, and then the last
Well, you
last
can't
2
see
years,
everything from
last few years it was restrictions of COVID and so on and so forth.
Yeah.
And with me teaching at the ISD, I wanted to protect myself, my students, and my swimmers. So I did the mask thing and kept the distance and so on and so forth. So.
Next year, we got to get to complement what we do, Joe. I'd like to get Terry Clock here with Mick. Together, those two would be dynamite. Yeah. Well, not only that, and I say that because Terry was one of, or the only female swimmer
Swimming on the boys team.
Swimming on the boys team.
That was another question I was going to ask. It looks like the Shores team has one girl swimming with them.
Yes.
Is that
the young lady wanted to do cross country in the fall instead of swim, and then she got a waiver that she can swim on the boys team for a winter sport. The only problem with that is that if she was to go to a state meet, she has to get the boys' state cut times.
Oh, okay.
And she has to swim at the boys' state meet. There's no girls in the wintertime.
All right. Question for you. Somebody asked me this at school one day. Transgenders in swimming. How is it affecting high school, college, or has it not have been affected yet?
I have not seen it at the high school ranks. I have not heard about it at the high school ranks. At the college ranks, I heard that there's a real battle right now.
Oh, yeah.
I believe it's Harvard University that had a girl, had a guy swim on the guys' team last year. Now he's swimming on the girls' team.
Correct.
And setting all sorts of records.
Well, and that's, you just saw my thunder here, is it seems like the biggest advantage is guy to girl versus girl to guy. Yep. And I'm not trying to put down the girls at all. That's not my intent here. It's just, boy, that's going to come into play more and more every single year.
And I know it's definitely something that it's high on the list of things to wrestle with and figure out exactly what's going to happen and that kind of stuff. So
at the Olympic level, I know that to compete in women's events, they have to have their testosterone levels lower than a certain amount.
Right, because they got from Africa. So one of the countries in Africa, we was just demolishing everybody, and it was a guy turning, having to change into a female, and their times were incredible. But yeah, that's a great point.
So now we're coming up to the boys 400, correct?
This is the 400 free relay. So each of the swimmers will swim 4 lengths of the pool freestyle.
Okay. So what are our times that we're looking at here, buddy?
So the state cut for this one is going to be 3:22.89.
Okay. I'm looking at this coach over here. He's waving. Is that the Zealand coach over there?
Yes.
He's waving something. It's just not the towel, though.
No.
It's just not the towel.
That towel is not going. Whatever it is not going into the Hall of Fame.
No.
Oh, yeah, Joe.
Somebody asked when I was recruiting, one of the parents was in the stands talking to me, and they go, "Hey, aren't you the coach from Muskegon who does the towel thing?"
Yeah, see?
I said, "Yeah,
you're known for a certain thing." You know, Dr. Fugate there with the pants rolled up on a game day. I mean, you just remember certain things about people.
Jim Harbaugh and his khakis.
Yep, Harbaugh in his khakis.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
Making his towel. There's probably worse things to be known for, right?
Yeah.
Now, when the towel goes into the Hall of Fame, will you be going in it holding it with a picture of you in the towel?
Bronze statue with it.
It's going to be a bronze statue?
Bronze statue,
Yeah,
yeah.
that's what I thought. Okay, yeah, no, I like it.
If that ever happens, I'd be very honored and happy.
Well, I'm going to be talking to Mike Mack, who's on the Hall of Fame board. I'm going to be talking to Terry Clock. We've got people. Sailor Nation Sports knows people in places, high-level places, too.
And Mike's I've known Mike for years. My dad and him taught at Shores, and we were Roosevelt Park family, so we all grew up in the Roosevelt Park area.
What did your dad teach?
My dad taught phys ed and health at the junior high.
At Shores?
At Shores, and then he coached over at the high school football, wrestling, and track.
What years did he teach?
He was there from 67 till 79 when he passed. If you go into the middle school gym, the old gym, it's named after him. There's a memorial plaque, and then the football field was named after the scoreboard. Was named after him.
Nice.
And
well, all the more reason the towel's got to go into the Hall of Fame, for heaven's sakes.
So up until about, I think it was the late 90s, I was part of 2 record holders at the middle school over there on the for the 440 relay and the 800.
Do they have the scoreboard?
Or mile relay and a 440 relay.
Do they have the record board still up there? The old one where you had to slide the cardboard.
I still have my.
Okay.
I actually Gary Bolenbach. I don't know if you know who he was.
I know Gary.
He was the janitor over there.
Yeah, right.
When the record was finally broken, he says, "Hey, they finally broke your record. Do you want your thing?" So I got to keep my.
He was janitor when I was teaching at the school there.
Yep.
Gary, great guy.
Yeah.
Oh my
He was on our fire department for years.
Yeah,
his dad
okay.
was the chief.
Quick story about the old junior high. My dad, Larry Rieger, and a couple other teachers out there, Steve Bullheis, and they used to have the traditional Motor Shores motocross in the spring. They'd test their motorcycles out in the hallway before the kids got there.
There's a Sailor win for that one, it looks like.
All right, state record here, buddy? Anything?
No, they're a little off on that, but I think that might be a PR for them.
Okay.
What's the state cut time?
3:22.
Oh, not even close.
Oh, so does Zealand's PR? Their PR would get there?
Yeah, their personal time. Yeah, they got. I think they got that 2 weeks ago against Holland Christian.
So do you think they just had a really good night at that point, or a bad night?
Well, looking at their lineup, they swam off. I don't see any of their top swimmers in that.
Gotcha. So now, in a relay like that, is it the team that goes and they can put whoever they want in that relay, or does it have to be that relay
No,
mix?
it can be anybody the coach wants to put in there.
Okay, all right.
And 9 times out of 10, when you go to the state finals, if your team is I'll say in the top 16, you'll take eight swimmers for that relay. So you'll take 4 alternates and 4 regulars.
Just in case.
And then what you'll do is most schools will save their top 4, swim the second 4, and then at the finals you'll see the 4 fastest swimming at the finals.
So when you Well, that's interesting. So Sam, John, Larry, and Pete qualify for state. Sam, John, Larry, and Pete don't have to send just...
Nope. They just got to get a relay team qualified, and then the coach can put in whoever they want.
Really?
The hope is that whoever they have for the 4 in that relay will either go that time or faster. They're hoping to go faster.
Right, yeah. Right, in theory, faster is better all the time.
So
that's interesting.
And that works to the advantage of bigger teams with the stronger
Are we done?
depth.
Yeah, that's it.
That is.
Wow, that went fast.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let me ask what
What was the final score?
86-58.
Okay.
So Zeeland East walks away with this one fairly easily.
And that's a conference win, so I'm sure right now that it's a 3-way tie right now, I believe, in the conference.
With who?
It's Spring Lake. Holland Christian, Zeeland, and then Spring Lake. So it might be, it might be a 2-way tie. So I think.
All right. Well, God, this was a blast.
I'm glad we were able to get here and do this.
Wonderful having you.
Well, thank you. I appreciate it. This has been fun.
And I'll tell you what, seriously, as we get going, now that they've got the pool back open, assuming that they'll have the pool open again next year for the girls and for the boys, we'd love to be able to bring you back in to do this, and even Terry Clock perhaps on the next broadcast as well. So that would be kind of nice to have another face and voice that have some knowledge on that. But we want to thank anybody and everybody that was able to join us here tonight from the Muskegon Big Reds pool. This is the John Vandervelde Nexus Realty broadcast booth here in the stands. We are ready to get out of here. We'll let you go. Our broadcast next up is going to be basketball this Friday back at the Sailor Center against Union. So we'll hope to see all of you there. I hope you guys have a great night. For Kimmin, for Cohen, who's running the board tonight, doing a fantastic job, and for Mr. Nick Davros and Mr. Mick Holman, this is Joe Kanukin saying thank you. Have a great night. Be safe. We'll see you Friday.